More and more entrepreneurs want to build what's called a heart-based business. I am not sure that there is a standard official definition for what is a heart-based business, but literally a heart-based business is a business based on the power of the heart, more love, more truth, more warmth, more authenticity. But I think that there is also some misunderstanding, some confusion about what a heart-based business might be. I see many people interpreting it as being a business that is a little fuzzy, flowery, really nice, really smooth around the edges, and a business that always feels very polite, but not always very direct and very true. And to me, a heart-based business is something different. See, when we say that we want to do something in a heartbeat, we refer to the capacity of the heart to not think, not overthink, but just do what's right when it's right. For instance, if you are in a dangerous situation, your heart will take over and provide the blood flow that you need to think very quickly on your feet and provide safety to your body or to the people that are with you. It's a fight or flight situation. Your heart takes over and pumps enough blood to provide survival, right? You do an exercise, say you have to run the stairs because all of a sudden you realize that you're late or that somebody is chasing you. Oh, well, actually, no, I covered the safety thing just a minute ago, but you're exercising, your heart will kick in. It will kick in and in a heartbeat provide the vital energy that you need to do what you have to do, the exercise that you need to do. And so in that regard, a heart-based business to me works a little bit the same. It is a business that is here to kick in and do what's right and what's true for their clients when they need it. And in consulting, what does this mean exactly? It means that when a client is facing a situation and we see that our clients don't see that correctly, that they're misdiagnosing where they are, or they think they're doing great in their process, but we see that it's actually not true. But we fear that if we tell the truth, they might be mad at us. They might even fire us as a consultant or expert or coach or advisor. A heart-based business cultivated and has the power to actually say the truth, right? Independent from whether we fear to be fired or not. When we are in the sales process also, and we see that a colleague of ours is not actually leading in the sales, which you should actually be doing if you're really an expert. Leading in the sale is so critical, not waiting for the client to tell you what to do in the next steps. But if you see a colleague that is not leading in the sale, helping this colleague and telling him the truth, giving candid feedback and honest feedback and transparent feedback, that to me is what a heart-based business is about. It's almost like a heart-based business is kind but ruthless. It's there to tell the truth, to say, okay, we're not on the right path. We should do this differently. And it might be difficult. And some of us may lose ABC, but we have to do it because that's what is right. Otherwise, we're going to fail. Otherwise, our business is going to go down. Our situation is not going to look good, whatever the case might be. That's to me what a heart-based business is really a business that puts the value of honest, ruthless, sometimes rough truth above everything. I am a defender and an advocate for elegance in the words you use. You don't need to be rude. You don't need to use bad word. In case you have never noticed, but in any of my videos or writing, I never use the F word. I never use the BS, the B word, the S word. I never use cursing. I don't believe in the power. Some people say, oh yeah, cursing has this power that really, give this extra jolt of energy. I don't really think you need that. I don't really think, it's not that I don't think that you need that. I think that you just need to say things in the very straight way, in a very direct way, without bullshit, without beating around the bush. And and just stand your ground. So let me give you an example. A few years ago, I did a project. It was several years ago. It was the last time I accepted a project as a subcontractor, and I had already decided I would not do that. But I decided to make an exception. And after that anecdote, I really decided I would never work as a subcontractor ever anymore. And I was right. So I delivered the project, and then the terms was that I was going to be paid 15 days after the end of the project. And the project was about 2 months long. So, in all fairness, that was kind of a balanced deal. And for sure enough, I had this suspicion, but well, it happened. The payment showed up late, and actually quite late, almost like 60 days late. And I had to really handle the situation with a heart-based attitude, right? I had to be clear, I had to be upfront, I had to be honest. And at some point I said, you know what? You expect me to show up on time in front of our clients, of our common clients. I expect payment to also show up on time when the work is done. So I took the payment and I said, you lost my trust. That's the last time we'll work together. Thank you very much. It was great working with you, but I can't work like this. So that's what I did in the case of my heart-based business. I told the truth, the honest truth, direct, kind, but honest and authentic. So I hope this helps you reflect on what a heart-based business is. Of course, here I took examples of difficult situation. I talk about you not being safe, having to do exercise, providing feedback, working in a team where people are kind of not doing what they're supposed to, late payments and so on. Let's also talk about positive situations, right? A heart-based business is also about telling the truth about positive things, like seeing someone doing something great, being grateful about what your colleagues will provide to you, or what your clients will do, or what other people will kindly give to you, and being proactively thanking them, not waiting for the end of the year or the holidays or their birthday to find the excuse to actually be nice, right? Because it's polite. It's because that's the custom. It's fashionably nice to actually say thank you, because it's kind of check the box kind of mentality. I think a heart-based business also is a business in which you operate from a very genuine, authentic energy in thanking people proactively, and that can be very simple things, like picking up the phone, calling someone and saying, "Hey, I'm very grateful. I recognize the work you did, and I wanted you to know how it makes me feel." Right? Actually, using very emotionally descriptive language is the sign of a heart-based expert or business or consultant, right? You describe how you feel in your body. Hey, what you did made me really joyful. I could feel this kind of energy I rarely feel. I was really giddy. I wanted to jump around. I wanted to go outside. If you were in the same room, I would have stood up and hug you for that, or something like that. But be very emotionally descriptive, physically descriptive. Show what happens when you are happy and when you want to say thank you. I just shot a video about gratefulness yesterday. How to be grateful, how to incorporate grateful as a daily practice. And I think that heart-based businesses incorporate heart-based practices on a daily basis. You don't wait to tell the truth. You don't wait to provide feedback. You don't wait to say, to give a compliment. You don't wait to recognize positivity, great, courageous moves, hard work, compassion, pride, and other positive aspects of your business. So I hope this helps. I hope you don't you take this as a point of reflection. I may not have the truth. I wanted to share my own definition of it, what I stand for, and what are the values that I stand for. If you at some point you may have heard me talk about things that sound a little bit more flowery and romanticized, and I talk about very conceptual things, very woo-woo kind of aspect around business. Yes, I do believe in spirituality in business. I do feel like, you know, the spirits we bring in business is quite important. In fact, my own mission statement is to turn every organization into a source of inspiration that few can resist, which proves that I also believe in this. But I also believe, I primarily believe in the power of heart-based business being the kind of business that I just described in these videos. Authentic, honest, ready to address what is right, what is true at the moment that is required, not wait because we feel like we might hurt somebody's feeling, or we might not be very polite, or we might be a little rough. But just do what's right with elegance. Again, with elegance. I think elegance is key. You know, another value that I just thought about, I didn't think about it, you know, just a minute ago, but is humor. Humor helps business become better. Humor can help you take risk. Humor can help you gain insight. You know, set a distance between you and events. Humor helps a team, you know, solve very complex and difficult situations when things are tense. This might be another, actually, now that I think about it, I process this verbally, this also might be another characteristic of a heart-based business. A heart-based business is also about honesty. You know, as I just said, honesty in the feedback, in the relationship, in the collaboration that we build, in the relationships that we build. And you know, again, I'm going to talk about making deals, selling to clients here. Honesty, doing something that feels fair, that feels reasonable. You know, when we negotiate, and I heard this from expert negotiator Chris Voss. Chris Voss is a former FBI agent who wrote a brilliant book that I highly recommend, called Never Split the Difference. And someone asked Chris Voss a question, which is, how do you want to be remembered when you end a negotiation? And he said, I want to be seen as reasonable. And I think that's also a characteristic of a heart-based business. Heart-based businesses are reasonable businesses. They function with reason. They know how to manage emotions, but also reasons. We are reasonable. We do what's right for people in a given situation. I can remember all of a sudden so many people who treated me with, in a very reasonable way, and I was always very impressed by the way they handled the situation. In some cases, they give me discounts. They give me my money back in some times, but also made up for some of the things that they did wrong. They own their mistakes. Actually, in my team recently, one person did a small mistake, and I said, you know, look, it's no big deal, and we incurred small fees because we were late. I think it was with the payment or something like this. It was an automated payment, and I said, you know, it's okay. I'll take care of it. We misunderstood each other on this deadline, and he decided that he would actually pay for it. It was a reasonable move. He owned his work with responsibility. And I also feel like this is the trait, the characteristic of a heart-based business. So I feel like I've been, you know, going through different layers here. I'm exploring this theme. It's fairly, that term, like I said, is very recent to me. I didn't hear about it last year, for instance. It's quite new. It's still under development, I would say. I think it's the first time that I even talk about this in a video here. I didn't write about it, but I may write an article or two on this topic, because I think it's a topic of more and more interest around us. We're seeing that clients seek more authenticity. They seek to work with people that they can trust, with whom they can build relationships based on what the heart has to say. Authenticity, transparency. It really strikes me that big corporations are still in the ancient mode, or trying to cover problems and mask the truth and just look better than they are. and then just wait for the ticking bomb to explode later when the scandals show up. Well, okay, I digress. Let's go back to heart-based businesses here. I think there is the reason why I talk about this topic is because I feel like there is more and more appetite for this subject. There is more and more acceptance for businesses that want to be, for business leaders who want to build businesses, brands, organizations from a place of authenticity, from a place of truth. There is also less fear that people will see mistakes, errors as really dramatic. There is more acceptance. There is more acceptance. Vulnerability is definitely a theme that has popped in our narrative, in our social and business narrative in the recent years that helps that as well. So I think it's a great time to build a consulting, a professional services business based on the values of the heart, all the values I described there: authenticity, transparency, fairness, being reasonable, owning your mistakes, everything that the heart, the pure energy of the heart provides, doing things in a heartbeat without overthinking it. Spontaneity, there you go. That's another one that fuels creativity, sometimes doing something without thinking too much. Like this video, for instance. This video comes from the heart. Do you think that I prepped, that I scripted this video? Not at all. It took me 30 seconds to decide what is it that's true, that stood out this week. What kind of theme did I notice that I want to explore in front of the camera for my audience? And that's the theme that came. And that's what my heart told me to talk about. My heart picked a very meta topic, in fact, the topic of itself, right? Being a heart-based business. The heart wanted to talk about the heart, right? So I hope this helps. I hope this helps you think about what a heart, again, I'm repeating myself at this point, what a heart-based business could look like. I think finally, to close here, one last thought maybe. We'll see how it goes. Another thing that you may consider is that the heart being pure, the heart being genuine, there is no expectation. There is no expectation of wrong or right. When something is comes out of you, of your mouth, your mind, your business, genuinely and generously. Sorry, when the intent is an intent with love, right? When you're trying to do something good, you're trying to be positive, you're trying to fix a situation, improve a client's situation, add value to their business, right? And it's done in a way that feels like it's heart-based. I think that there is a lot of forgiveness as well. It's very, spontaneity is really, in that case, the thing that shows through. That is the value. So yeah, don't be confused with what a heart-based business means. It's not being polite. It's not being flowery. It's not being overly gentle. It's not being shy. It's not, a heart-based business is not just about feeling good necessarily. When I exercise and my body is really heart-based, right? My body is surviving thanks to my heart pumping blood like crazy. Do I feel good? No, I feel very uncomfortable. I'm sweating. It's painful. My muscles hurt. I'm shaking. My legs I have cramps. The whole body is tender. Does it feel good? No, but it's heart-based for sure. So I hope this is an analogy and a metaphor that helps you think about how you want to drive your business differently, how you want to evolve the impact that you have in your community, with your clients, with yourself, with your team, with the people you serve, with the people you hire, with your partners. What does it look like to be a heart-based business? I am really genuinely interested in having this conversation with more of you, right? Am I crazy? Let me know, because if all I say here is kind of nuts, I want to know. That's my heart asking you for answers. That's my heart asking you for a signal or response. Tell me if that resonates with you. Do you want to build a heart-based business? Does this even matter to you? I feel like it should, but maybe it's just me. But I have seen more and more people talk about this. I belong to business groups where it's a topic that is often discussed. The term heart-based business is used, very frequently now. It's more and more up in the air. It's more and more in our narrative as a society, as a business community as well. All right. I hope this was helpful once again, and please comment. Please let me know what you think about this topic. Share some examples. Share your own definition of a heart-based business. Hopefully that's helpful, and that helps you be a more successful expert on a mission, of course, and build a professional services business that is not only widely successful and profitable, but also a business that you love.